Watch as the Benue caucus led by Honorable Benjamin Mzondu, member representing Makurdi Guma Federal Constituency, annuls the bill on the floor of the Green Chambers of the National Assembly. I am Buruku reporting Focus Television.
Thank you. As earlier introduced, my name is Honorable Benjamin Mzondu. I represent the very wonderful, good people of Makurdi Guma from Benue State. And with my popular adage, I also represent the teeming unemployed youths in the Hollow Chamber. That has been my introductory name. I'm called Mr. Unemployment on the floor. Basically, we come up with a point of order today, the floor of the House, after coming back from our 8-week recess. And this is in conjunction with the National Water Resource Bill that has generated so much controversy across the length and breadth of this country. We from Benue in particular and other parts of the country that have water bodies, we see this bill as a decoy to take our lands. This bill came in the 8th Assembly. The Senate shut it down even though the House passed it. It has come back again in the 9th Assembly, and we begin to ask questions. What is the special interest in this bill that will warrant for it coming up over and over? These laws are made for good governance, peace, and order of Nigeria. And we made these laws. Once we come up with any law that the people of Nigeria are not comfortable with, the onus is on us to immediately rescind that decision. But the executive were hell-bent on passing this law, sponsored by some members of the House. And from our own position, we are all privileged members of the House. We all came by popular vote from our federal constituencies. The 360 federal constituencies of Nigeria are represented here. And therefore, our voice must be heard. The position of our people must be made very clear. And our people have said no to the National Water Resource Bill. And we had to look at it in totality. And we came to the conclusion that the manner and the procedure it was introduced and passed was not in conformity with our standing rules. And as such, we raise matters of privilege, because privileges are rights that we enjoy collectively and individually. And it's stated clearly in our House rules. And I brought them up. And part of these privileges are the documents. This being needed to be re-gazetted and clean copies circulated, which was not done. And failure to do that breaches on our own privileges and rights as members of the House of Representatives. And that was where we had our argument from. Thank you.
Yes, going forward, what would you, because the impression is that you are going to have a re-gazette of this bill, this piece of legislation. Tell us now what the caucus wants. Does he want this bill trashed, or he want a fresh argument on it? Tell us pointedly what the caucus wants.
From our point of view is to trash it completely. There's no gainsaying. If it comes 100 times, we still take on it. Our positions have not changed. The basic principles of the bill does not support our existence and livelihood as people of the Benue Valley, particularly from Benue State. So even if it comes, we will still take it procedurally. And when we begin to talk about procedure, public debates, there will be inputs from the public. We will also debate it. In this period, there were no opportunity for debate. There are clauses in that bill that as long as they are there, we will fight it until those clauses are amended or removed or changed. So for us in the Benue Valley, if it remains the way it is, we will continue to fight it because our people are not comfortable with it. I also allow my brother to lend his voice on that subject.
Sorry, sir. You mentioned sessions your people are not comfortable with. Can you point out those sessions of the law that you want removed?
Well, thank you, Chairman of the Press. The sections like you asked, people are generally not comfortable with, have to do with where they contradict the Land Use Act. Now, the Land Use Act vests all land in state governments, in the control of the states. But the bill, as it were, seeks to take away land that is around water bodies and vested in the control of the federal government, which contradicts not just the Land Use Act, but the Constitution. So those sections for us, like my colleague, my brother mentioned earlier, we are largely farmers. We are that's from Benue State, and we depend on land, particularly land that is good for agriculture, which is around water bodies. So if you take the land from us, what is going to happen to us as a people? So our people raise their voices and complain bitterly about those provisions of the bill. Now, but because the bill was passed surreptitiously, sneakily, went through, there was an opportunity, there was adequate opportunity to debate on some of those provisions. If the bill had gone through the proper procedure, we would have voiced our concerns. As representatives of the people, we would have voiced our concerns. But because it did not, we didn't have that opportunity. So, as it were, if even if the bill comes back, it will have to go through the proper procedure, and we will like to look at those certain provisions, like some of the provisions I've mentioned here, and to ensure that our people are comfortable with them, and it isn't a backdoor opportunity for something other than what it appears to be.
Thank you so much. I think.